Hey, everybody. It's that time again. I was just thinking, I could probably stand to start posting the tools I use. So that way, if anyone was kind of curious, since I did say that was kind of my big thing, is teaching you guys how to do it. So I'll have to take a look into that. Start including links for where you can buy the stuff and everything. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I probably should have got myself water instead of coming up here after eating straight pizza. So if you recall, in about 2.5 hours or so, we made this bed, made pajama last night, and I had some experts in the Warhammer field kind of tell me that I should definitely consider adding some maggots and stuff to it. So we were not going to do that tonight because, once again, the whole point of this current series is simply to get through ahead per live stream. And I mean, this was perfectly sellable as it stood, and all three all three so far have been perfectly sellable as they stood. Or of course, my goal is to enhance each one a little bit better with a little bit more details and such. And this one is no different from those. But yeah, so we're gonna definitely fix them all three up and everything. I have some big plans with this one, but I'm gonna keep it a little secret for now. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and start getting everything prepped for I'm gonna call this my final head. I was gonna do 5, but with the way the week went and everything, it just didn't seem right. Maybe the word to try to force a 5th one. I don't even have a 5th one in mind. I guess I would have been still doing that Aswang concept, which is apparently a Filipino folklore type of vampire character. It's like a vampire weird character thing with a really long tongue. And apparently there's like a specific brand of Aswang that they are a lady and it loses its bottom half of its body, like it just cuts itself off and has its intestines and guts hanging there, which is a little creepy, weird. And then it grows wings, so I don't know if the one comes because of the other, like do the legs shoot up inside her body and she grows wings, or does she simply just leave her legs on the ground there and grow wings. The guy who was telling me about this said that a lot of their people still kind of believe in the folklores of this type of stuff. It's still heavily believed, and they still use it to scare kids to go to bed early and such like that, which is very interesting to me, that there can be such archaic beliefs that are still kind of in effect, I guess would be the word. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, but it's not kind of cool to do. I'm trying to get so much stuff done, so there's not really much time for such a concept. Right now you're kind of wondering, oh, what the heck, you started with a cube. Well, I just kind of wanted to show off. Yeah. but show off what you can even do with a cube. We're going to use a different tool I was looking into. Let's see. This should be it. Oh, that didn't work. There it is. Very interesting. Huh. It did not do it on both sides. That's weird. So that's too iffy for me right there. I kind of liked how I was able to just shave that down. That's even kind of cool. Okay. Dang, I just need to make this set bigger, I guess. That might keep coming right into the... That's another goblin head. Well, that's a concept of goblin head. We're gonna make. I don't know how to describe what my exact plans are. I guess you'll just have to see. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'll say what's kind of funny about this versus two-dimensional art for me. If I was to start like this at all with drawing, I'd be like, this looks like it's garbage, and I'm just gonna quit it. I have a lot more patience with my 3D art. Like, well, it takes a bit, we gotta work it in the shapes. Okay, so the question really just becomes like, how the heck we get this thing off the ground a lot of times. So I'm trying to, if I was to start with, okay. Let's go ahead and append a new cube. Kind of weird how this thing works there. What the fuck? Okay, I think that looks kind of like we're getting there. Let's see. There we go, that's kind of alright. What do I want to? How do we make it? That was not what I thought was going to happen. We might be getting there. Why is it? Oh, that's strange. Maybe I'm looking at. Sometimes I. Move? Is that it? Oh, yeah, that's probably it. Huh. That weird thing in the center was not what I anticipated happening. Okay, well. Sometimes there's only so much you can do with one thing, so we just keep moving to the next. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna keep that interesting. I think this falls in line with things that are what is better at with anything else. Z modeling or modeling. Trying to make like a chitinous carapace sort of situation. I had a really large mouth. What would it look like? I'm trying not to see anything. So long to make this shape, I don't want to like have to remake it. Let's see. So, if you haven't guessed, this goblin's not gonna have any eyes. Gotta figure out. I'll just flush part of the situation. Let me go ahead and see measure it again. I think the one thing I really want to pull out pretty quickly is its ears, but let's also focus on that. If I was to make another one. Definitely have to rework either the head or the chitin type thing. Okay, anyway, alright. Moving on. Did I lose you, Blake? Oh. So it's a unique type of goblin figure head. This might have been one of those ideas in my head that was cooler in my head. I'm trying to make this cool looking. Might have been ambitious to create such a strange looking one. Scale up. Yeah, thank you. Technically, it's supposed to be more than a helmet. It's actually his head. That's why it's so ridiculous looking.
House is like, it's filled with zombies, but it's just tired children asking for things. Mom, yeah? You gonna be down here soon? I don't know, buddy. Try to go to bed. Mommy, have you? I have some gummies. Like, every time you turn a corner, it's like a zombie child with a low voice asking you for something. Mom. What? Like, I'm in the bathroom. Leave me alone.
Leave my brain alone.
Like, come on, man. It's 8:30 at night. Go to bed. Oh. Did you comment when I said whale, whale, whale? Because it looked like you were drawing a whale.
Where?
That's what it looks like right there.
Where'd you comment that?
The face of a humpback whale.
Where'd you comment that?
On Facebook?
It's not showing.
Oh, weird. I did it like 5 minutes ago.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
It shows on my thing. Maybe I'm shadow banned from commenting on your stuff.
Right. It's like you called him a whore.
Probably. They're like, you're a bully.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to comment on his stuff.
He deserves someone better than you.
Yeah. It doesn't even matter. You guys have been married for almost 9 years.
He deserves someone better, and we're going to make sure that it happens. Shut up.
I made your cake look too delectable.
Oh yeah? Everybody's wanting it now?
Everybody's wanting some. If you happen to have any extras, I'd love to try it. I'm like, no, I don't know. You're going to have to talk to Joel.
You're trying to pry him between his most favorite cake in the world.
I'm like, you're going to be getting between Joel and his cake.
No one gets between Joel and any food, really.
Really, and lives to tell about it.
That's right. I have bits fingers off. I'm not even ashamed.
I love you. I was like, oops.
Like, how many fingers do you want to lose?
Shouldn't have shared it.
I told you not to.
I know, I was a fool. Oh, I don't know about you, but I am beyond tired. Oh,
Nah.
lucky.
Having your appendix removed, man. It's a wonder.
I'm thinking it has something to do with the fact that I keep having kids.
Or you just haven't had the proper body parts removed yet.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's not those things. I feel like my body functions best with all its parts.
I mean, you still have your tonsils, you still have your appendix and your gallbladder. Like, one of those... Adenoids. One of those things needs to get removed.
All of my other major vital organs seem to be functioning.
I guess I kind of see the whale that you're talking about, even though
Yeah, it's like
you're lying and it didn't actually post. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, when it turns its face to the side, it looks like a whale. Like a whale going,
Right. Slow night. That's weird. It's Friday. Is it just because I started so early?
I'm thinking it's because it's Friday.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I kind of forget that people... You know, I think in my head I'm like, oh, yeah, this is the best
night.
time.
There's not a bunch of people at home on a Friday night watching me live stream.
Yeah, you know. Curse you, COVID restrictions for being lifted. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man, if this was last year, you'd all be watching.
You'd have nothing else to
You'd
watch.
have nothing better to do.
But I have Blake, I think, maybe. Unless you're the one viewer now.
I think it's still Blake because I am on Pinterest.
Oh, okay.
Even I gave up.
Wow.
Just kidding, I love you.
Even my own wife can't watch me. No, I'm just kidding.
I can watch you, and I would watch you if it would go at the same time as Pinterest, but it does not.
Yeah, what the heck happened with that? I thought the only
I have like a picture-in-picture. I honestly just don't know how to work it. If you ever want to take the time, I did it on accident once, and I was like, that's cool, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of it.
And then you were annoyed at
And
it.
then I was
Right?
like,
What the heck?
no, I want to be done watching this YouTube video, but I can't. I had to like close everything out, open the app back up, and be like, stop playing.
Should I give him 4 ears? Like something weird since he has 0 eyes? Like he can hear extra. And I'm kind of liking that idea now that I kind of mentioned it.
Only if his ears are going to be nestled into each other, like one big ear and then one smaller ear, like right in front of the ear.
Oh, I was gonna do it right behind, smaller.
Ew. Why?
Why one right in front of the other?
Because it's cuter when the smaller one's in front of the big one. Why would you ever put a small one behind a big one? It goes in front.
Well, maybe even not a small one.
Big. That's like just aesthetically more pleasing. Like a little one and then a big one.
Okay, then I'm gonna do it the way you don't like it because
I want it to be somewhat aesthetically pleasing because I said so.
because I like to make things super perturbing.
You do. You literally like to set it to where, like, if I had OCD, I couldn't survive in this marriage.
I'm just put this like little human ear right behind it, like this, just like this, just a little human ear.
Like, if I don't even have OCD and 90% of the stuff you do makes me feel so much anxiety, you were not made for anybody with any level of serious
OCD.
compulsion disorder, because you leave everything in a way that's unfinished in the worst way. Speaking of unfinished, Genevieve went to the bathroom with her pizza. And
Ew.
then left her pizza in the bathroom.
Why is she the worst?
I don't know. Kids are disgusting. Our house looks like an absolute war zone. And I straight up just cleaned and had everything picked up yesterday, especially in the living room.
I saw that yesterday.
I know. It looked so good. All I had to do was vacuum. Now there's like crushed goldfish into the carpet, so it's even worse. There are 600 blankets downstairs all over the floor. I don't even know why or where they came from. The kids did not put their toys away before going to bed. So that's a thing we're going to have to start enforcing now, or else I'm getting rid of all the toys in our house forever.
Except for mine.
Like, I put toys in the living room, and the deal was, when you guys are done playing now, you have to put your toys away. You cannot just sit there and take up space in the living room. We're not doing that. I actually did accomplish a lot this week. I kept all of our children alive every day of this week.
And you didn't even want to hurt them that bad.
I didn't, and I built a shelf alone.
Grayson
Brought the whole
didn't
box
count.
in. No, no. That was like if you were being helpful and then you did a complete 180. It was that.
That was him.
That was him. I was like, oh, you're kind of just stealing my tools from me and asking 600 questions. I want to help you learn to build things, but right now I just want to get this done.
Right.
Like, mommy's not in the zone right now. Like, this is not a teachable moment for me. Because he'd be like, okay, now what does this do? Like, skipping ahead directions. And I'm like, we're not on that part. Directions go in order. So I'm trying to open parts that we're not using yet.
Oh gosh, yeah.
You're going to lose something.
Yeah, and then you're gonna not know what the letter was and everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm like, stop. But I'm helping.
Second year looks good. Thanks. Totally makes me think of kaiju. Yeah, that I'll show you.
Let me guess. I stopped watching and you did do it backwards, didn't you? You did. I could already tell when I would look at it and be like, freaking dang it.
So I'm trying to click on one to.
Ugh. So aesthetically displeasing. It's so close to his neck. Yours are not made to be that close to people's necks, Joel.
So this is kind of.
Not even on a goblin.
This is kind of the concept that I had in mind. I saw something else that reminded me of it, and I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to like play around with. So, although it's kind of nice seeing how they did their mouths, so I can. I'm like, okay, that's probably where I need to. What? Anyway, sorry. We're discussing birthday plans. Anyway. Stop it. So, I like this carapace idea. This carapace idea was kind of the thing that I was like, oh yeah, that'd be really cool to do. So, kind of yoinking it.
I'm so sleepy. I may nap. Wake me up when you're done.
Wake me up when it's all done.
But don't let me snore because if people hear me snore, that would be so embarrassing.
I might just let them hear you snore for some.
That's like my worst concern of ever like sleeping in public. I'm like, what if I like snored, like a snore? Somebody heard me, and then like I'd have to live with people like thinking I snore regularly. But I don't. It's just sometimes.
Or it's just more than you think.
It's just usually when my throat's dry. That's why I'm worried about it, because my throat is really dry.
So in this particular case, I'm probably going to just build the tongue right in the center.
Yeah, you are.
Oh.
Right aesthetically in the center. Not off to the left or right for no reason.
No. This is the way I like it now.
So I could not remember if the "This Is Me Now" came from Bob's Burgers.
It did.
So when I put it in the other day and it came up with that GIF, I was like, oh, it did come from there. This is me now.
This is me now. We've heard that before. This is me. This is me now. This is me now. Oh, okay, so you know about Tyranids, yeah. Oh, wait. That was actually Legion of Everblades, so that was something else. But, yeah, combination of the two. The one was called War Machine, and Tyranids is Warhammer. worthless? Yeah. I'm gonna give him a uvula.
Yeah, draw that dangly thing in the back of his throat.
Did it already. It's done.
It's from the Cardi B song.
Oh.
She's
Ew.
like, I like it when you hit that dangly thing in the back of my throat.
Lucky for her, most throats aren't that big, and it can happen.
I know, I was like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't think there needs to be a lot going on for it to not do that. Mouths are only about 2 inches deep, so like my pizza does that sometimes.
Sometimes I gag myself when I eat pizza. Blake's making fun of you for saying perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Just like things to be symmetrical.
I like it to be as asymmetrical as possible.
I know you do, and I hate it a little.
Especially when I found out in graphic design that your classic artists would always do things in a proper triangle like this. And so you would have like, it'd be like this God the Father, and then like man, and then like woman or something like that was, and they would talk about how, oh, that was perfectly balanced because a triangle makes you feel safe because you have this wide base and you have this point. So God up here,
Also the strongest
also strongest thing.
shape in,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they said, if you ever wanted to make people feel uncomfortable, you make an upside down triangle. Because then you get this.
Yeah, I instantly hate that.
Yeah, you get this notion of like
Because
teetering.
It's gonna fall over.
It's gonna fall over. Yep.
It
Upside
has
down
to.
triangle.
Things
Yep.
can't balance on a 90-degree angle.
So I always throw things into the. I try my best to make people feel uncomfortable all the time. In art, in real
That
life.
feels accurate. Having known you for as long as I have.
Yep.
I
Art,
feel like
real
at
life.
this point, I mean, aside from your like legitimate family, I've known you longer than anybody else, right?
I have removed some of the friends that used to know me longer. I think there's like maybe one girl left.
Just a few. A girl? Get her out of here.
She's not my type.
Because you're married and you don't have a type anymore?
I don't know if it's more impressive for me to be like, no, because she's literally blah, 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 or if it is more
It'd
impressive.
be more impressive if you were like, I don't have a type anymore because I married my type.
Oh, I did marry my type, yes. Yes, my ringtone for my wife is big booty.
Oh, thanks. Just for anyone who's going to tune in at any point to watch this ever.
I like balance, but if it's asymmetrically balanced, it's my favorite. But yeah, there's something to that too, for sure. Oh shoot! What? Ah.
Freaking Pinterest always telling me what to do and make for my kids. Like I'm like that crafty.
Rick, stop it.
They're like, do you want to entertain your kids? Make this super messy thing.
You're like, no, I don't.
Hide 15 ingredients for 10 minutes of fun.
Buy 15 ingredients for 10
I mean,
minutes.
like, everything they've ever said, like, I'm like, okay, I'm telling you right now, there's literally no way my kid is playing with that for any length of time that would make sense for me to go through the effort of making it. I have television children, meaning they do not have an attention span for anything longer than, like, 5 to 7 minutes. Genevieve literally asks me to watch shorts instead of cartoons.
Oh gosh.
She likes watching 3-minute long commercial break style cartoons on Disney Plus, where I have to actively press OK every 2.5 to 3 minutes.
So she's trying to make your life miserable.
I'm like, can we watch something else? And she's like, no, I like this. Like, yeah, my kids are not, they're not like that. And you know what? I don't think my dad was like that either. And I'm thinking that's where they get it from.
Yeah.
Like, their Papa D, he is not like a sit still and focus on something for a super long time kind of person.
Nope, he probably couldn't handle this at all.
Yeah, no.
Hey, you gotta be patient to be an artist.
Yeah, I don't think I could be an artist though either. In fairness, like, I am also kind of someone who struggles to like do the same thing for a long period of time.
Blake said, no, his type is you. Yeah, so he said the same thing you did.
Yeah.
You struggled what now?
I kind of struggle, even if I am just gonna be on my phone, a lot of times I'll be like watching YouTube and then an idea will pop in my head and I am like 5 minutes into the video, so I leave and I go to Facebook to look for something, and then I get off of Facebook and I go to Amazon because I'm like, oh, I forgot that I liked that thing that I was gonna look it up on Amazon, and then I'll be on Amazon and I'll be like, I want to look at Pinterest for some home decor inspiration. And so I go on Pinterest, and then I start seeing recipes for bread, and I'm like, I'm going to look up a tutorial on YouTube about making bread. And then I'm like, I see now why my kids also struggle to watch the television.
Sometimes I get caught up in other things and forget what I was doing.
I'm like, I wouldn't say it's ADD, it's just like my brain is always coming up with a new thing that I could be doing.
Right.
I think it's more of like my brain's attempt at making me be productive.
It's
and
like,
I'm just like, no. You think that if I look up organization, I'm going to get up and organize. But we both know that's not going to happen. I'm going to get distracted by the acrylic containers. I'm going to go to Amazon and start looking at them and realize that's too expensive. They're going to slip something in that isn't an acrylic container, and I'm going to be like, do I need something to hold a bunch of mops?
he said, that's not a television child. Television children like to watch things forever. I was a television child. Yeah,
I don't know what my kid is. My kid is whatever
iPad child
is like.
Oh, they don't even get an iPad.
No, they don't have tablets. They literally just don't sit still to like pay attention to anything long enough usually for it to be a thing. Like even when they play toys, they'll be like on blocks for 7 minutes, get tired of blocks, go to dolls for 15 minutes maybe. Then they're like, oh, now I would like to run around the living room jumping on the pillows. And then they do that, and then they just kind of slowly descend into fighting each other over baby toys.
Yeah, he makes me mad. I'm like, they are girl toys.
Plus,
Knock
I'm
it
like,
off.
no, and the frustrating thing is that Genevieve gets really angry about a toy that doesn't even belong to her because it belongs to Aurora, and she's fighting Grayson for it, and I'm like, here's the fun thing, is it doesn't belong to either of you.
Yeah, okay, that one actually makes me the most mad. I get her a
I'm
toy,
like,
and then they're like, oh, it's mine now. I'm like, it's actually Aurora's, so knock it off.
But it's so fun to play with. I wish I was a baby, and I'm like, no, you don't. No, you literally do not. Babies don't get Xboxes in their room.
Yeah. I started this one differently tonight. I made him out of a cube.
Just FYI, anyone who watches this, I do love my children. It's just been spring break, so I've had all of my children at home all day, every day, for days and days on end. One of the days, our power went out, so they didn't go to bed until it was late at night because none of the lights worked and their sound machines wouldn't turn on, so I literally had to take care of them all day long. And then they didn't sleep in the next day, even though they went to bed hours after their bedtime. So, and then because they do tend to descend into fighting over time, they ultimately started to fight each other on a regular basis and just kind of make the goal, I think, to make each other cry. I'm not really sure.
I feel like that's what you do. Yeah, as a child, you go, I want to make you cry.
Make you cry, make you cry. Oh, I think I'm ready.
Cry with 2-ply.
Although I all of a sudden had the realization today that I was like, oh my gosh, I'm having a baby in summer.
Yeah,
When Grayson's out of school.
Oh
And
no.
we'll be home every day
Oh no.
with the other two.
Oh no.
Yep. Because the naps were so messy this week. They were so difficult to like get them to go to bed and like be on their proper nap schedule. And
Hey Grayson, you're going back to naps too.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm having another baby. Like, I'm a crazy person.
Why did I want 4?
Why did I want 4, you lunatic?
We didn't think we were going to get it
I know.
before
I
she turned
literally
30. 30 was her thing.
I was like, oh, if I could have 4 before 30. And then it happened, and now I'm like, I know I wanted this, but dang, I did not think that was going to happen.
I don't know what to do with myself now.
Yeah.
Does anyone want a child? We make them real cute.
They're super cute. If you're interested in a toddler, that one's the most self-sufficient, actually.
And annoying.
She is super cute. I saw this thing I posted like a year or so ago, and it was like, I don't have a favorite child, but I do have one I try extra hard not to wake up.
Yeah.
And I was like, the fact that even looking at this a year later and I know exactly what child that is.
Still our Jenna.
It's crazy though, because she is so sweet, but on the same level of her sweetness is the exact opposite of sassiness and like argumentative and like mean to me. Like,
You're going to be mean?
like, why are you literally a Sour Patch Kid? You are absolutely as sour as you are sweet.
Sour Patch Kids were definitely made after the second child.
They were. They were like, aw, if only there was a candy that we had that would exhibit exactly how our second child behaves.
Right.
They're like, first, they punch you in the face,
Oh, thanks, Blake.
then they hug you and tell you that they love you.
I was really nervous at first with this head. I was like, I don't think it's going to turn out the way I wanted, but here we are. It's getting there. As I said, if this was a 2D drawing, I would have given up when the first line stroke was bad. That's how I know I don't draw. I'm much more harder on myself when I draw. I'm like, nope, there's no way. I can't figure out how to make this right.
I'm just saying, Pinterest is trying really hard to get me to try the
Drugs?
one-pan pasta. No. The one-pan pasta where you like pour a bunch of cherry tomatoes in a casserole dish and then put a block of feta in there, then you drizzle it in olive oil and bake it in the oven, smash it all together and add cooked pasta.
Oh, I don't even... Okay.
It's like super famous because TikTok and like everyone is making it, and literally every single day Pinterest gives me someone else's recipe for it.
Yeah, don't
And
care.
I'm like, is it not literally the same? Everyone's like, my one-pan feta baked pasta.
Aren't they always one pan? Do you ever do 2 pans?
Well, that's the thing is, it's like, well, technically you have to cook the pasta. So you're already using another dish. But okay.
Liars.
Yeah. Plus, it's literally just tomatoes. They don't put like sugar or like garlic. Like half of them don't even put seasonings on the tomatoes, and I'm like, y'all are white people, I can tell.
You know, some parents aren't smart enough to not reveal who their favorite child is. My sister knew that it was me.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate situation.
An
Thankfully,
unfortunate.
I knew who the favorite child was too. Spoiler alert, it wasn't me.
Yeah, we have fun conversations about how different our lives were, because I was the favorite and she wasn't.
I make sure, like, I really do tell each of my kids, not just the same generic, like, I love you, you're adorable thing, but, like, to try to really pick out their specific attributes so that it's not just, oh, I love you, you're my baby, oh, I love you, you're so cute, oh, I love you, you know, you're so this. I will pick out, like, oh, I love you, I love when you know, give me hugs and snuggles, I love that you are kind, or I love that you are helpful.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes it more like that I pay attention to the, like, things about them rather than just being like a generic, like, of course, you're my baby, I love you.
Our daughter, she's definitely our more helpful one. I can ask her to do stuff and she'll usually actually get it done right.
I will say Grayson this week has been crazy helpful. You know how normally every weekend I'm like, Joel, go up and down the stairs 600 times and retrieve our children and all the things. Well, I made Grayson do that like all week. It was amazing.
That must have been great.
I know. He even can get Aurora out of her high chair.
What?
I know. I was like, I love you. I'm like, you've actually been, aside from the fighting, you've actually been taking a huge load off. He's been, like, getting her from naps and, like, grabbing her a snack. And
So I'm not going to lie,
awesome.
Adding teeth is, like, probably my least favorite thing. There's just so many teeth that you have to add. I'm like, oh, we're at that time again. It's time to add teeth to it.
Too bad you don't have, like, some kind of puppety thing where you can, like, at least just have half the teeth done. And just stick it in mouths and adjust the size, and then
I should do
more teeth or something.
I mean, I should do a monster teeth mouth like I do a human teeth mouth. That's probably true.
I agree.
That's something I'm definitely gonna have to look into quickly. Because I'm planning on starting to just crank out like 4 heads a week or something, or 3 heads and an armor piece.
It's just 4 heads.
Stop it. So I'm gonna start cranking out a bunch of stuff. I think I'm gonna go ahead and wait till May, and I'm just gonna crank out like, gosh, hopefully 20 different items by May or something. At least 20 items. To throw it on an e-commerce site.
So crazy. Don't set yourself up too crazy. There we go.
Well, I already have a bunch of stuff that I can already put in it.
That's true. I will say, you should probably get the ball rolling because I'm probably not going to be like wildly chill about live streaming right after the baby is here. So
That's probably true.
in July, I'm going to start being like, I need help.
Yeah, unfortunately, my computer is in the room that the baby will be in, so
Yeah.
live streaming might come to a pause as life gets in the way.
At least just for a little bit, just for like a few months or something. We figure out.
So not to make people forget about me.
I mean, you could still do it. We just would have to do it earlier, or like on the weekends, or
Well, that's fair.
like pre-record instead of live or something.
That'll be extra boring because I'll have no one to talk to. What brought on making a bunch of goblins, particularly these freaky ones? Well, I didn't necessarily.
My brain.
My brain. my brain. Anyway. Goober. So, with that Aerither wave coming, I was like, we could definitely use for some, like, demon goblin whelp characters. Oops, gotta turn that off. Demon goblin whelp characters. So, initially I was gonna make a bunch of demon looking characters for, just different heads to use for the wave specifically. And then they just started getting freakier and weirder, and I'm not even sure I'd call them demon heads to some degree.
Yeah.
I'm like, the demon part might be out, and in some ways the goblin part might be out on some of them too. Particularly this one and the one from last night.
I don't know, though. I still think they have a goblin-esque.
This one might be more applicable to the cosmic legions along
I almost
in
think
truth.
that what you're really making is kind of like if a goblin fell into like nuclear waste and then became like an overlord, that's the kind of goblins you're making.
Right. Yeah, that's hilarious. Became like an overlord.
Because that's the vibe they give off, is like an overlord and its underlings.
Right, maybe. Yeah. So that's why I started it. And then it was kind of just it was a challenge to myself, and I knew that maybe my videos weren't so exciting for a lot of people. So I was trying to give them something more entertaining to watch. So I was like, I'm just going to roll with this concept. And then if I can make at least most of a head or all a head in like an hour or two each night, then people can kind of see how quick the process can be or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to take you 3 months to figure out that you want to make something. You can make something in a weekend and have it ready to print, you know. So it's proven to myself, proven to others, a little bit of everything. Yeah, I thought it was a cool enough reason to do what I'm doing, and I haven't really made any like super monster heads anyway so far, right? Like that.
I think mostly you've kind of just been fiddling around with like different
Humans,
things people said they
things
might
people
wanna
asked
see.
for, and everything, and so in some ways this is one of the first times that I'm actually doing something for myself.
Yeah.
Just seeing what I can do, what I can make and everything. What I would be proud to put on
Testing
a
out
custom
the old-
head.
Testing out the old creativity brain.
Yeah. Plus, from a business perspective, people really like monsters in the Mythic Legions community. So, really, it made a lot of financial sense to make something that people would like. Oh yeah, I need to get that because I like monsters.
Yeah. It's definitely something that's like maybe more than just, for a while you were making like heads that were interesting, but that like only 2 or 3 people I think were asking you to make.
Right.
And it maybe didn't have as much of a cult following as those people who really liked it. Whereas this is just kind of erring on the side of like broad rather than
Broad,
super
creepy,
duper,
weird, freaky, something that
rather than like super duper narrow.
show off what I'm able to do.
And because you just like creepy stuff.
I just like weird stuff.
That's what you really should have said. What made you start making a goblin head? I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm a creep.
Actually, as far as pegs go, I am. So, Anthony with Noble Bear Printing, that's his thing. He actually asked. He got permission from Action Figure Fusion that he's allowed to have someone edit the files and whatever. So I actually have a skeleton neck peg in the works. It looked really cool, but it was not functional. So this weekend, part of what I was actually going to do was go ahead and get him a functional skeleton neck peg that looked really rad. And actually, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but I have pretty huge plans for my Nurgle Goblin that I don't want to reveal my hand too soon, but I can tell you it's going to be huge.
Some really interesting things today. I think.
Yeah, you're going to be really freaking out like, whoa. If you think he looks cool as it is, and if you think this stuff is neat, you're going to really be
appreciate.
Yeah, mind blown.
I like you because you're like you always said everything like up here. You're like, no, we're not down here.
That's
I'm
right.
always up here.
I'm always
You're
on
not
a high.
gonna be like impressed. You're not gonna be like, oh, that's neat. Your mind's gonna explode.
Your mind's gonna explode.
And if it doesn't, Don't tell me about it.
That's right.
I don't want to hear it.
You know what? If your mind doesn't explode, I'm just gonna assume that it did anyway, because you would be brain dead and I wouldn't be able to know that it exploded one way or the other. So if you don't tell me, then I just automatically assume.
I'm gonna blow your mind so hard that your only options are gonna be to tell me that your mind is blown or not say a word.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not sure if this is a broad audience sort of thing. Almost a kind of.
I meant more broad than a Tom Selleck head.
Yeah, someone asked me to make a Tom Selleck head, and then I did, and then he didn't even buy it. So honestly, that was about one of the most irritating things. People have this tendency.
Good.
It looks cool, but people have this weird tendency that they just want to see if you can do it, and a lot of times they don't actually.
It's me. I'm one of those people.
She sometimes will do it too.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily have any plans to buy it,
yeah.
and so you're like, oh, you wasted my life for no reason. Thank you.
Or were we just sharpening your skills?
Right. So
you're welcome.
Now my new rule is, you better throw down some cash or I'm not making that thing. I'm like, if it wasn't my idea, you better throw something down.
I'm trying to think of a rhyme. Okay, hang on.
Dough, cash, think of it.
Hang on. Okay, keep talking. I'll think of something.
Okay.
I can be a go-getter if you give me some cheddar.
Maybe.
You want to see that head, you better give me some bread.
Oh my.
That seems maybe like not the right motto. Don't use that one. That seems like somebody else's motto. If you want me to make that head, better give me some bread.
Right.
There you go.
The
first way I used it seemed like it could belong to a different genre of working people.
Who are just as important as anyone.
Yeah. Oldest profession, some say.
He was a barber and you know it. I'm like, or prostitution.
I'm like, technically, the oldest profession supposedly is definitely not barber. I don't think that's ever going to be the answer.
I'm like, I don't think anyone ever. Like let's
If
look
you
at the
were
Bible.
given that
Let's look
in
at some of
trivia.
Right. Let's look at.
Don't answer that.
Let's look at the oldest text that anyone has readily available, and let's just go with the Bible.
I said farmer.
Yeah, Bible, farmer, and then you know what they did after farming? They set up sex idols. So prostitution was like
Yeah,
the next.
it's considered like one of the oldest professions.
Farming, livestock and vegetables. So either type of farming, as you want to call it. You know, if you want to call it broad spectrum, and then prostitution.
Like right up there next to each other.
Right next to each other, and one came a little bit before the other.
So like, it's not good for man to be alone with his animals.
Right. So adapter for Masters of the Universe Origin Legend. Yeah, that would be something I could definitely look at doing. I think that would probably be pretty popular in the group since everybody obsesses over Master of the Universe. And
He-Man Master of the Universe?
Yeah. And I could easily make that for 2.0 and 1.0. So, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. It'd be a cheap thing that I could, like, rip out a bunch to that, yeah, people would be like, yes!
I didn't take my probiotic and I have horrible indigestion from tonight.
We talked about that.
I know. Like, I want to be in pain.
I think I like his teeth.
I'm so tired that I don't know if I could, like, follow it.
Good for dwarf legs. What do you mean? Like having a He-Man head, or
probably that. You got people on YouTube?
Just one.
Nice. Did
One.
you say hi?
Hi, YouTube people. if you're actually there. I can never tell if people are actually there or if YouTube's just like, sure. Not only can it be a tooth, it can be a horn. You're just singing Every Kiss Begins with K. Are you trying to tell me something? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I don't think that is what I was saying at all. So, remember how I was watching that Ink Masters yesterday on Facebook?
Yeah.
It followed me to YouTube. I didn't get to finish it on Facebook.
Nice.
And now it's on YouTube in my suggestions. I was like, it's both creepy and useful.
Hey, thank you for...
Cross-platform contamination.
Whoa, I heard that. You can hope that no one else heard that.
You're not supposed to point it out.
Embarrassing.
You're embarrassing. You put a baby in me. So what happened?
Yeah. Thank you for your free ideas.
Nobody would have heard it. It didn't even make a sound. Gosh.
You're the one who keeps going on. I don't think anyone really probably
You
would have...
said, whoa, I heard that.
Yeah, well, it could mean other things. Anyway, I find a lot of people in the Cabal group and everything seem to really like this bread and butter design. So if you want something with a crap ton of stuff on it, I'll give you something with a crap ton of stuff on it. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. So you're saying having the neck peg would encourage the idea of using their legs then? Yeah, the glorious thing about our son, though, is that he's the only boy, so he has no, like, real competition for his role. You know what I mean, wifey?
What? I'm sorry.
So the beautiful thing about our son is that he was our firstborn and our only boy, so he has, like, no real competition for, like...
It's true. For being the best around.
That's right. You're our best son.
Gonna bring him down. Yeah, I can always say, you are my best son.
Yep, you're my favorite son.
You're my favorite son. You're my baby. You're always going to be my baby son.
That's right.
You're my first little baby.
Firstborn child.
Yep.
One who made me a parent. Like, these are, like, all honest things I can say to him, and they're completely valid.
Right?
No one can take that away from me.
Plus, I always tell him he's the biggest sibling. Because he's the oldest one of all of them. I'm like, do you realize you're the oldest one, of all the siblings? You're the biggest brother. And he's like, yeah. Like, yeah, they're so cool.
did I click on? Okay, whatever. So then I'm thinking, this isn't like the first Friday night where it was just kind of a dud of a Friday night. Maybe if I was to cut down my live streaming, I need to do it in the middle of the week.
Yeah, that might be good.
Like I always thought, oh yeah, Friday nights because people have nothing else to do the next day, so they're gonna be more inclined to watch. And they're like, no,
Yeah, but not that many people have a ton of children like we do. They
right,
can like go and do stuff.
right.
They can like be like, I'm gonna go to a restaurant or a club or the library or like a movie.
We just had to watch HBO Max movies now. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! By the way, Mortal Kombat is coming out soon.
I know.
Is that-
I even saw it was coming to HBO Max.
Yep, I knew it was coming to HBO Max. I just didn't know how soon it was coming. Next year's gonna be sad. They're not gonna do it. They have like a new 45-day thing that they're gonna do next year where they can't do it within the first 45 days of it being in theaters. I'm like, really? That's been half the reason I've been doing this thing is like all the cool exclusive movies it's getting. I think Godzilla's supposed to be by the end of the month. I did watch Raya, by the way. I'm not sure if someone here mentioned that to me, but we actually did get to see it. That was pretty cute.
What?
I kind of thought someone asked me if we watched Raya yet or not. And I was just saying that we did get a chance to finally watch it.
Or whatever. Yeah.
It was cute.
Yeah, it was cute. I don't know that I'd watch it a lot of times over.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
it
sure
was
if it's
cute.
yeah. We only watched Mulan once. I'm not sure if I should attempt to give it a second try, like knowing what it is now. Then like part of me is like maybe I didn't give it a fair assessment because I expected something completely different. Although shoot, I did try to do Star Wars Episode 8 again, even though that super depressed me and I couldn't do it. I was doing other stuff. I was like, oh, yeah, the movie ended. Alright. I tried. I couldn't even pay attention to it long enough to like care. I'll say with Cosmic Allegiance coming out, I think some of the things I'm looking most excited to doing is making Star Wars tributes. So you're saying that I need to make a waist adapter for Masters of the Universe into the Mythic Legions. Is that it? Because I guess I missed that part. Guys, I'm so excited. I'm going to be going to a really cool toy store tomorrow for my birthday. It's 2 hours away. We're going to do other stuff too, but that's like the highlight of it. It's going to be the thing that I have to do first and foremost just to ensure that I actually did it. Why do they keep saying Sebastian so much? Who's Sebastian?
The tattoo artist.
Is this more of the failed stuff, or is this actually good stuff?
What?
Is this more of your failed ones, or is
Yeah,
this...
so these are fixing. These are redemption ones, and the first one, the guy sucked and then continued sucking and sucked so bad that they basically had to have another artist do the whole thing, and he got to come in for the last like 15 minutes and do it. So that he could fix it. He was terrible the entire time, and everyone in the comments is like, why is he literally acting like a child? He's so rude. And I'm like, he is rude. Like, that girl was like, I'm like basically not really wanting you to do anything because you seem to like not want to take direction. And then, yeah, it just...
Reminds me of someone I know.
He's like, basically just wanted to keep saying like, he was on Ink Masters, which makes him amazing. And so he basically was just like essentially saying like, every opinion you have of me is ridiculous because like I'm so talented and I'm so good. And I was just like, buddy, you're being so rude.
Nobody cares where you've been.
Hey.
Gotcha. Huh? Yeah, that might be... It might be an idea for us to... If I made something like that, Blake, would that be of interest of yours to buy it?
Oof. That's so much work to be getting done on such a tender part of your back.
Nice.
She said it's maybe more painful than childbirth. I'm literally never getting a tattoo.
Good. They're expensive. I'm trying to think, would I be allowed to add that little square? Oh yeah, I should be able to add that little square piece if I made a waist piece, because people make torsos with holes for the shoulders all the time. Okay, you got a deal, Blake. I'll work on it. Because I'm pretty sure I know another guy who'd be over the moon for something like that. There you go. I'm trying to figure out what I would need to get it done. Let's see. So I'll have to work off a picture since I won't have a scan. Yeah, if you could take a picture of the leg with the peg sideways, like it would go into it, you know, like pop the leg out, wherever, however the peg hole goes into it. Take a picture of it from the front and from the side with about the same distance as you can for me, and try to censor it each way as you can for me. And we'll try to make this a thing by next weekend for you. which Masters of the Universe ones are you talking about? Is that the brand new one that just came out, or is that like an older brand? I'm not, as I said, super familiar. I have the new He-Man, so if that's what it's in reference to, I could use him. And then I have this one green guy with a metal jaw thing, and a skull-looking face and orange hair. I'm not sure what line he's from. I'd have to ask the guy who gave him to me. But anyway, yeah, if you can assist me with some pictures to work the model off of, we can make it a thing. All right, well, if you want to take a look at it and see what it looks like.
Video watching. Oh yeah. Interesting. I can't say that I love that he doesn't have eyes. I just really want him to have eyes, and doesn't.
Yeah, I was trying to ease the leg conundrum. I want to get like an injection mold machine. My whole thing was
okay, go ahead.
my whole thing was I was going to make arms and like double jointed elbows and stuff, and then that way, you know, you could have some more options, and then legs and stuff maybe one day. But honestly, you're right. I mean, if I could offer a waist for like $7, then you now have this torso plus a $7 waist plus however much was for the Masters of the Universe figure. So yeah, you're pretty much halfway there to making new characters and stuff again. Ease a burden, as you said. What's up, wife?
Okay, so real quick on his head. I know you were aiming for asymmetry and everything, but there is like a bluntness to the top that is not jiving, I feel like, with the bottom. Is there any way to create more of a sharpness in the front part of the nose area, like that's right above the teeth? Because it's kind of really blunt in comparison and not like fleshed out as much as the rest of the... Yeah. Like, I know you weren't going for, like, super symmetry. I was just like, it's like a totally different vibe, the top to the bottom.
Oh, that's okay.
I like that better.
I do too.
It's just like almost a little bit too, just like blunt, and it kind of just didn't look like super finished with the rest of everything. Like much more like detailed and finished and polished.
Yeah, I agree.
So.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, I think that looks a lot better.
I just got really thrown off by the process of creating this thing to begin with. I was like, I have this idea in my head.
You know what I would do is add a curve of variation, a curve and some height variation in some of those more central spikes on the head. Almost like what you did with the canine wolf teeth, but in them coming up, you know, rather than they were facing down. The two middle ones, maybe making those two in the center, the longer ones than the rest, and curved. I think, not in his mouth, on his head. Does that make sense?
What do you
Spikes on his head.
What do you want me to do?
make them like canine teeth, but on his head. So remember how we made those fangs for the wolf headdress? Where they were curved and sharp? So take these two central, and you may turn on symmetry for those so it does it to the same on the other side.
Let's really have to redo it.
So curving them so they have like a curve coming in, and then sharpening them and making them taller.
Would you do it like that?
Let me see it. Yeah, and then making it a little taller than what it is. So that these two in the center are taller than the rest of the spikes. Not like way taller, just somewhat taller. Yeah, and then can you curve them in towards the head a little more? Almost like they're coming in like at, I'm not sure what the curve would be. Like a 30 degree maybe? So that they kind of look like fangs, like hooked fangs, coming in. Not aggressively, just like with a slight bend. Yeah, like that. I'm trying to think of there's not really an animal or anything I can think of that has anything like that for me to explain. Like a saber-toothed tiger, set of saber-toothed tiger teeth, but like on his head,
Yeah.
And then I would still make them considerably like bigger than the rest of the spikes. Not like enormous, but I would definitely make them larger so that they kind of add more character and like definition. Yeah, I think something like that would look really good.
Measurements probably won't matter too much, Blake, because I'll just go off the 1.0 torso whenever I make everything anyway. I'll just use the pictures to design the piece that goes in the center there or whatever. Like that?
Yeah. And then when you do it on the same thing on the other side, I think it'll look really good, because I was thinking they would kind of like almost create like a London Bridge of spikes coming like in over like a tunnel over his nose, sort of. Like they don't touch each other, but they create kind of that tunnel-like look.
Gotcha.
I was thinking that would accentuate the ridge that you made, like down the top of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Don't you think that kind of like
Yeah.
added to the ridge?
Yeah.
Made it look more defined like that. Yeah. I think that looks cool. I have to go potty now.
Good stopping point.
Yeah, I think so.
So, It is the new line. Okay, yeah, if you already had one blown apart. Alright. I think I would want to... actually just consider I'm done. I don't know what else I could. Just some little details there. The actual thing back, yeah. Okay. Start increasing resolution there. All right. Uh-oh. So now what we have to do is, because there's like no clearance there. No clearance. Just like that. We have clearance.
Oh, you're not done yet? Yeah, didn't you supposed to think you're saying something? Where is it? So you were like, is that a starting point? And I said, yes. I hate this door. And then I went to the bathroom.
I just wanted to actually finish it out, so now it's actually finished, or I could just simply print it.
Nice. Oh, baby must be growing because my legs hurt. It's like my hips are spreading. Ouch.
Have to make sure everything's Dynamesh. Something weird happens when you don't. Okay. Let's duplicate that too. Why not? Okay. Bridge down. There we go. Duplicate it one more time. Yeah, if you can send it in Messenger, it'll be fine. Yeah. And like before, we want to make the head as small size as possible. Decimated. Alright. Save one more time. And let's take a look at it in our slicing program. Oh. See, I'm not sure what happened there. Okay, so we're going to try this again. 60. Okay. And let's try it again. There we go. Yay. Lovely. It's gonna be nice and nasty to print. Alright, so what we're gonna do is increase the scale to 89%. File, export, Goblin head for 2.0. Yeah, that's good. So, I apologize, my wife didn't have a lot of fun tonight.
Rude! I was pleasant and adorable.
Did you say peasant and deplorable?
Basically. Just exhausted.
And we still haven't finished the Justice League movie on that note.
Oh man, I just don't want to be as tired as I am, but I straight up like am struggling to keep my eyes open.
Oh gosh. Anyway, like, subscribe. And I keep saying this, and really Blake's the only one hearing it, and I'm sure Blake's like, would you keep beating me up? Quit beating me up, but I already have you.
What?
As I keep saying like and subscribe, and Blake's the only one there, and I'm like,
We appreciate you, Blake.
appreciate you, Blake.
Thanks for being here.
So anyway, alright. Later, folks.